Goldman Sachs just released a number that stopped a lot of people cold. AI is eliminating 16,000 American jobs every single month. Not someday, not in theory, right now. And the workers being hit hardest aren't factory workers or truck drivers. They are college-educated, white-collar professionals earning up to $80,000 a year who thought they had built careers that technology couldn't touch. McKinsey says 30% of all work hours in the U.S. economy could be automated by 2030. That's not a fringe prediction. That's a mainstream research firm putting a number on a disruption that is already in motion. So, if you felt that quiet anxiety lately, wondering whether your job title will exist in 5 years, I want you to know that feeling is not paranoia. It is pattern recognition. But fear without a plan is just stress. So today, I'm giving you something better. These are the 5 questions to ask right now if you are worried AI will take your job. Not to scare you, to position you. Welcome to Quick Financial Concepts, where we help you make smarter financial decisions by asking the right questions first. If that's what you need right now, subscribe, because this topic is not going away and neither are we. Before the questions, let me give you a clear picture of what is actually happening, because the media coverage on this swings between 2 extremes that are both wrong. One extreme says AI is going to eliminate virtually all jobs within a decade. The other extreme says it's all hype and nothing has really changed. Neither is accurate. Here is what the data actually shows in 2026. AI is already measurably slowing hiring in high-exposure jobs. Customer service, data entry, administrative support, basic accounting, entry-level coding. These roles are seeing fewer job postings, slower wage growth, and first-round layoffs that are happening right now, not in some future scenario. At the same time, there is something called AI washing, companies using artificial intelligence as a public cover for cost-cutting and restructuring that was happening for entirely different reasons. Not every layoff blamed on AI is actually caused by AI. That distinction matters for how you assess your own risk. What both sides of the debate agree on, the next 3 years, 2026 to 2029, are the critical window. The workers who prepare now will have options. The workers who wait and hope will have far fewer. These 5 questions are your preparation. Question number 1. Is my job actually at risk, or am I reacting to fear? Before you make any financial or career move based on AI anxiety, you need an honest assessment of your actual exposure level. Not a general feeling, a specific fact-based answer. Here is a simple 3-part test. First, what percentage of your daily work involves repetitive, rule-based tasks? Things like processing forms, entering data, generating standard reports, responding to routine inquiries, and formatting documents. If the answer is more than 50%, your role has significant AI exposure. Not guaranteed replacement, but genuine exposure. Second, does your job require physical presence, complex human judgment, or deep relationship trust? Nurses, skilled tradespeople, therapists, sales professionals with real client relationships, teachers, and crisis managers. These roles have natural protection because AI fundamentally cannot replicate physical presence, earned trust, or real-time human judgment in uncontrolled environments. Third, is your industry currently shrinking its workforce or expanding it? Technology, finance, media, and professional services are seeing measurable hiring slowdowns right now. Healthcare, skilled trades, infrastructure, and cybersecurity are actively hiring and cannot fill roles fast enough. What to do? Look up your specific job title on the Washington Post's interactive AI exposure tool, or search your title plus AI Automation Risk 2026. Get a number, not a feeling. Then you can respond intelligently instead of reactively. Question number 2. How financially exposed am I if I lose this job tomorrow? This is the question most people avoid because the answer is uncomfortable. But it is the most important financial question you can ask yourself right now. and the most actionable. Here is the real landscape. Workers displaced by AI aren't just facing a few weeks of job searching. Employees over 45 in disrupted fields are averaging 30 weeks or more to find comparable employment. In industries where entire job categories are shrinking simultaneously, that timeline can easily stretch to a year or longer. The standard advice is to build a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. In 2026, if you work in a high-exposure field, that advice is dangerously outdated. Financial planners who specialize in career disruption now recommend an 18 to 24-month liquid cushion for workers in vulnerable roles. That number sounds overwhelming. Here's how to start thinking about it practically. What to do? Run a financial exposure test right now. Take your monthly essential expenses, housing, food, utilities, insurance, minimum debt payments, and calculate how many months your current liquid savings would cover. That number is your runway. If it's under 6 months and you work in a high-exposure role, building that runway is your number one financial priority, above additional investing, above vacations, and above discretionary spending. Not forever, just until your position is clearer. Also, if you carry high-interest credit card debt, pay it down aggressively now. In a potential job loss scenario, that debt becomes a compounding emergency on top of a job emergency. Eliminate that vulnerability while your income is still stable. Question number 3. What skills do I have that AI genuinely cannot replace? This question is where the anxiety shifts into strategy, if you answer it honestly. Here is what the research is clear on. AI cannot replicate 6 specific human capabilities, and workers who build their identity around these capabilities are measurably more protected. 1. Emotional intelligence and empathy. The ability to read a room, de-escalate a difficult situation, and build genuine trust with another person. AI can simulate language. It cannot feel or be felt. 2. Complex creative strategies. Not execution of a template, genuine original thinking that connects unrelated ideas into something new. AI is extraordinarily good at recombining existing patterns. It is weak at genuine novelty. 3. Physical world presence. Any job that requires skilled hands, body awareness, and real-time physical adaptation to unpredictable environments remains largely protected. 4. Ethical judgments under ambiguity. When the situation has no clear right answer and real consequences, humans are still making those calls. Organizations and their clients require human accountability. 5. Deep relationship-based trust. Your doctor, your financial advisor, your attorney. There is a reason people still insist on a human face, even when AI tools exist. Trust is earned over time between people, and it transfers poorly to machines. 6. Cross-disciplinary synthesis. The ability to pull from multiple unrelated fields and see what others don't. AI works within domains. Humans who think across them have an advantage AI cannot easily replicate. What to do? Write down, honestly, which of these 6 capabilities are present and demonstrable in your current role. Then ask, am I being paid for my human capabilities or for task execution that a system could eventually handle? If it is the latter, it is not a crisis. It is a roadmap. Start visibly shifting toward the former. Question number 4. Am I building income outside my primary job? This question is no longer just advice for the entrepreneurially ambitious. In 2026, income diversification is the basic form of financial protection. 1 in 6 employers currently expects to reduce headcount because of AI this year. That means even in companies that are not announcing layoffs, quiet restructuring is happening. The workers who survive those restructurings are not always the most skilled. They are often the most indispensable. And one of the fastest ways to become indispensable is to be the person who generates revenue or saves costs in ways that are clearly attributable to you personally. But beyond job security inside your current role, external income streams change the entire psychology of career risk. When your household income is not 100% dependent on one employer's decision about your future, you negotiate from a position of strength. You take risks. You speak up. You develop skills your employer isn't paying for yet. What to do? You do not need a second full-time job. You need a second income signal. That could mean freelance work using your professional skills, consulting with smaller companies in your industry, teaching what you know through a course or newsletter, monetizing a skill you already have on nights and weekends, or building a modest investment income stream through dividend-paying assets. The near-term goal is not to replace your salary. The goal is to reduce the percentage of your financial life that one employer controls. Even an extra $500 to $1,000 a month from an independent source can significantly change your risk profile. Question number 5. What is my 90-day plan if the disruption hits before I'm ready? Most people think about job loss as something they will deal with when it happens. That approach works in a normal job market. It is a serious liability in the event of structural disruption. In a regular recession, your industry is still intact. You are competing against displaced workers from a temporarily contracting economy. In an AI disruption, you may be competing against workers from an entire job category that has been permanently contracted. The strategies, timelines, and preparation required are different. A 90-day plan has 3 components. Component 1, your financial bridge. What expenses get cut immediately, what gets paused, and what is non-negotiable. Know this in advance. Deciding under stress costs you money. Deciding in advance saves it. Component 2, your relaunch identity. If your current role disappeared tomorrow, what is the clearest story you can tell about the value you bring somewhere else? This isn't just a resume update. It is knowing the one-sentence answer to, what do I do and who needs it? People who can answer that clearly get hired faster. People who lead with their old job title struggle. Component 3, your skill investment. The workers who are thriving in the middle of this AI disruption share one trait. They became the people who work with AI rather than the people competing against it. Learning to use AI tools in your specific industry, not at a surface level, but at a genuinely skilled level, is one of the highest return investments you can make right now. A course, a certification, and a dedicated 30 minutes a day. The compounding value of that investment over 12 months is significant. What to do? Set aside 2 hours this week to write down all 3 components. You don't need it to be perfect. You need it to exist. A plan written on a napkin beats a perfect plan you haven't started. Today's final thoughts. These 5 questions are for you if you are worried AI will take your job. 1. Is my job actually at risk, or am I reacting to fear? 2. How financially exposed am I if I lose this job tomorrow? 3. What skills do I have that AI genuinely cannot replace? 4. Am I building income outside my primary job? 5. What is my 90-day plan if the disruption hits before I'm ready? The workers who will be fine through this disruption are not necessarily the most talented. They are the most prepared. You just took the first step. If this gave you a clearer picture than you had 10 minutes ago, share this video with one person in your life who is carrying this worry quietly. Sometimes, the most valuable thing you can do for someone you care about is hand them a framework instead of a feeling. Subscribe if you're not already. We cover the financial decisions that actually matter in the economy we are actually living in, and drop a comment below. We want to know, what industry are you in, and how exposed do you feel to AI disruption right now? I read every single comment, and your answer may shape the next video in this series. And remember, AI is not your competition. Complacency is. The workers who treat this moment as a signal to build will look back at 2026 as the year everything changed in their favor.